He was handsome. He was charming. He was intelligent. Ted Bundy was the epitome of the all-American boy next door, the kind of man who could easily win your trust with a smile and a few kind words. But beneath that polished exterior, he was also a monster, hiding a darkness that few could have ever imagined. Ted Bundy, the name itself sends chills down the spines of those who remember the terrifying reign of this notorious serial killer. His crimes were not just acts of violence, they were calculated, cold-blooded acts of pure evil. Bundy shattered the image of the typical criminal, lurking not in the shadows but in plain sight. He was the wolf in sheep's clothing, blending seamlessly into society while harboring sinister intentions. He used his charisma and normalcy as weapons, disarming his victims with his boyish good looks and disarming demeanor. Women felt safe around him, never suspecting the horror that awaited them. Bundy confessed to the brutal murders of at least 30 young women across multiple states in the 1970s. However, experts believe the true number of his victims could be much higher, as many cases remain unsolved. His crimes shocked the nation not just for their brutality, but also for the unsettling realization that monsters could hide beneath the most unassuming facades. The fear he instilled was palpable, leaving communities in a state of constant vigilance. How could someone so seemingly normal be capable of such horrific acts? This question has puzzled experts for years, leading to numerous studies and psychological profiles attempting to understand the mind of a killer. This question has haunted investigators, psychologists, and the public for decades. Bundy's case has been a focal point in the study of criminal psychology, offering insights into the complexities of human behavior and the potential for evil within us all. Bundy's case became a turning point in criminal profiling. It revolutionized the way law enforcement approached serial crimes, leading to the development of more sophisticated techniques for identifying and apprehending serial killers. It forced law enforcement and the public to confront the uncomfortable truth that evil doesn't always wear a menacing grin. Sometimes it hides behind a mask of normalcy, making it even more dangerous and difficult to detect. Sometimes it lurks behind a charming smile and a friendly face. Bundy's ability to mask his true nature made him one of the most dangerous predators of his time. The Bundy case serves as a chilling reminder of the duality of human nature and the darkness that can lie dormant within seemingly ordinary individuals. It challenges us to look beyond appearances and question the true nature of those around us, reminding us that evil can be found in the most unexpected places. To understand the monster, one must delve into the making of Ted Bundy. His early years hold the key to many of the mysteries that would later define his life. Born Theodore Robert Cowell in 1946, Bundy's early life was shrouded in secrecy and shame. His birth was the result of an illegitimate relationship, a fact that was deeply stigmatized at the time. Raised by his grandparents, he was led to believe his mother was his sister. This deception was not just a family secret but a cornerstone of his early identity. The truth, when he finally discovered it, was a blow to his sense of identity. It shattered the fragile world he had known and left him grappling with feelings of betrayal and confusion. This early deception, coupled with the stigma of illegitimacy in that era, left an indelible mark on young Ted. He struggled with feelings of shame and inadequacy, emotions that would haunt him throughout his life. Even in his youth there were glimpses of disturbing behavior. These were not just the typical mischiefs of a child, but signs of a deeper, more troubling psyche. Bundy exhibited a fascination with violence and a detachment from empathy that was unusual for a child. He seemed to lack the basic human connection that binds us to one another. He was known to torture animals and peep into windows, displaying a voyeuristic curiosity that would later manifest in his crimes. These actions were early indicators of a mind that was beginning to diverge from the norm. While these early signs did not predestine him to become a serial killer, they offer a glimpse into the darkness that was already taking root within him. They were the first cracks in a facade that would eventually shatter completely. Some experts believe that Bundy's troubled childhood, marked by instability and a distorted sense of self, laid the foundation for his future atrocities. They argue that his early experiences created a perfect storm of psychological vulnerabilities. The lack of a stable family structure and the emotional turmoil of his early years could have contributed to his inability to form healthy attachments and develop empathy. These are critical components of a well-adjusted personality, and their absence can have profound effects. However, it is crucial to remember that correlation does not equal causation. While his early life was undoubtedly troubled, it alone does not explain the horrors he would later commit. Many individuals endure difficult childhoods without becoming killers. They find ways to overcome their past and build healthy, productive lives. This highlights the complexity of human behavior and the myriad factors that shape it. Bundy's case is a complex puzzle, and his early life is just one piece. Understanding it helps us see the larger picture, but it does not provide all the answers. It is a starting point, a way to begin to understand the man behind the monster. Ted Bundy was a master manipulator, a man who could effortlessly deceive those around him. He cultivated an image of normalcy, presenting himself as a charming and charismatic law student. His good looks and intelligence made him appear trustworthy and approachable, a stark contrast to the monster he truly was. This carefully constructed persona allowed him to gain the trust of his victims, often luring them into vulnerable situations by feigning injury or impersonating authority figures. He would use props like a fake cast or crutches to appear harmless and in need of assistance. He preyed on young women who resembled his first love, a beautiful and intelligent college student who had broken his heart. This fixation on a specific type of victim was a chilling hallmark of his crimes. Bundy's crimes were not merely acts of violence, they were meticulously planned and executed attacks. He would often stalk his victims, learning their routines and habits before making his move. He would often revisit his crime scenes, engaging in necrophilia with his victims, and taking trophies to relive his heinous acts. These trophies, often personal items belonging to the victims, served as macabre mementos of his conquests. This ritualistic behavior, coupled with his ability to blend seamlessly into society, painted a chilling portrait of a psychopath with a deeply disturbed psyche. His need to revisit the scenes of his crimes and interact with the bodies of his victims underscored his profound depravity. His ability to compartmentalize, to separate his outward persona from his dark desires, was remarkable. He could switch between his charming facade and his monstrous impulses with alarming ease. He could engage in normal social interactions, hold down a job, and even engage in a long-term relationship while simultaneously committing horrific acts of violence. This duality made it incredibly difficult for those around him to suspect his true nature. This chilling duality is what made Bundy so terrifying and his crimes so difficult to comprehend. The stark contrast between his public persona and his private monstrosity left a lasting impact on those who encountered him, and his ability to evade capture for so long only added to his infamy.